I still can't believe that boat has a 400 horsepower motor on it. 400 Mercury, anyway.
Yeah, it ain't gonna stay still too long.
Yeah, no, that is one very nice boat right there.
Nice. That thing's too damn expensive.
So this boat has been in this area for quite a while.
Yeah, Travis said it was bought by some guy local or something like that.
Yep. So, and Nissans and Suzuki's, Hondas, they're all generally very good engines. So, your trim switch is over here.
Okay.
And you have one at the throttle control and back here. So when you run your transom support, you just run this up. Whoops. You take that off. It's spring loaded to help shock, when you're driving down the road.
Yep.
Have you owned a boat before?
Plenty.
Okay, good. Okay, so one thing I always like to tell the guys, and people tend to forget, is whenever you get out of the water, take a light and shine down here and always look for fish line down there, because you'll see a nest of stuff down in there. And then it's really easy to take the prop off, clean it off, otherwise it'll get into your seal, ruin the seal, get water in the gear case, this and that. So
it's gonna be nice not to have to pick up the motor I have now anymore.
We're getting fancy.
yeah. Yeah. That's a nice power trim is a nice feature. This is a pretty good size motor for a boat this size, so I have no idea what the top end will be, but I'd imagine it'll be plenty fast for you.
Yeah, my boat right now is a Mark Twain 1984, similar size. It has a 90 horse on it. It gets about 32 miles.
Yeah, this will probably do, I would guess, in the low 40s maybe, when you're trimmed out solid. So yeah, so 2-stroke, you got more reservoir here.
Okay.
And make sure you keep it at the proper level. Usually has a marking on it somewhere, I don't see, but use a high quality 2-stroke oil.
Oh, so you don't have to mix it?
Nope.
It'll inject.
The one we have is supposed to do that, but
Yeah,
he took it off.
supposed to.
Yeah, so I was looking at this last week in the sunlight. I could see it was about half full. I can't see it in the shade here, but I just had it running last week. So yeah, so spark plug's right here. Easy to get at. Fuel filter. This is your choke. So push to choke, which means you push this key in.
Yep.
And that's your choke.
Just like the one we got now too.
Yep, so you have to do that. And here's your throttle only. It runs your throttle, so you can give it more throttle when you're going to start on a cold engine.
Okay.
How can I hook the tractor up here?
You bet. Okay. Let's get this noisy thing started.
All right.
It's gonna make some noise. It'll be a lot quieter when it's in the water. So you got our primer bulb here.
Yep.
So arrow up.
Mm-hmm.
Prime that up. There's a fuel filter here also. This might be oil filter. That's oil filter for the 2-stroke oil. And then fuel filter over here. Real easy to take off and clean. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how this thing goes. It's pretty cold out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so you can see the impeller output right here. You always want to watch that.
Yep.
You guys already know about those things. And then we'll drain the water well because we're supposed to have some freezing temperatures here the next couple nights. Where are you guys from?
So yeah. Yep.
So it might be cold there too. So we'll just drain it. And what I recommend is trimming it up and down 3 times. That gets the water out of the cylinder head, out of the bottom of the gear case, and drains out, and then you're good.
Okay.
That's basically what I do for winter storage. You could fog the cylinders if you want to in the winter time at the end of the season. But if you're going to use it late season and then early in the spring, really fogging it is not a big deal. It's mostly getting the water out. Is a big deal.
Now, since it is a Nissan, I know they don't make them anymore. Who would you recommend taking it to as far as like just maintenance and stuff like that?
A general service center. See, like we're mostly Mercury, so we don't have a scan tool that can scan this or anything. Even if I don't even know if it's scannable or not. But anyway, so a shop that services many units would be the place I'd go.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things you can learn on, online and aftermarket parts. There'll be a whole community of people that have these motors out there that you can get parts for. So.
Yep.
And the impeller, which is in here, should be readily available through aftermarket sources.
Okay.
Without any problems at all. But it has very good output, so as long as you stay out of the sand, you shouldn't have to worry about that. So, and these motors are not sand pumps; they're water pumps. So, if you're in very shallow waters, make sure you're trimmed up and go very, very slow. Because your water intake is right here.
Yep.
And if you're taking sand in, it's going through the impeller, through the engine, and it can do damage. So it gets into thermostats, causes all kinds of grief. So just avoid that if you can. So you have a 2-stage pump here. This is in trim mode right here. So you can fine tune it when you're under power. And then when you get off this level, this here, then it goes to the 2nd stage. That's why it goes faster. So
Gotcha.
That's tilt. So when it hits these here, it goes into the 2nd stage. That's why you can trim it under power. So we'll run that up and let that drain some there. Okay, so where's my meter at? I had it out here somewhere.
You put it up there on top.
Yeah, so let's get in the boat. He's got a unique charging system for his trolling motor I just found. We'll make sure the batteries are good here. Yep, that was really good. That was really good also. Okay, so the reason I was checking that is the battery indicator does not work.
Okay.
Which is not a big deal. This is right here. It would show good or bad, 1 or 2. But your trim, so you do have a trim switch up here for your motor, so you can trim it up here.
Oh, nice.
So say you're fishing and you're getting into super shallow water, got your trolling motor out, you could trim your motor up or down up here. Obviously not with it running, no. That'd be kind of dangerous. So, yeah. So his charging system, he's backfeeding the power port through this, and that's how he charges his trolling batteries. So here's the charger for that. It's just an automotive charger that he's rigged up this way to do that. That's how you're going to charge your trolling batteries. Yeah, trolling motor's in there. It is an older unit, but I think it worked. I don't know for sure.
So I got it.
Somebody's life expectancy, even on a brand new one, is only 2 to 3 years. You know, they're thousands of dollars, but when this one fails, just get the latest and greatest in a Terova and not an Altera.
Yeah.
So we don't like those things.
That's why I gotta sit in the garage.
Yep. Good, good. And you have a Terova 80 at home?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 24 volt. Yeah, that'll work good. And there's no detach plate on this one, so I would recommend putting it on a detach plate.
Got that as well.
Good deal. That way if you go to a motel or something, you don't want to leave it set outside. And they're lockable too, the detach plate is.
Yeah. Well, a little neat feature that this boat has.
Yeah, so he's got this figured up for your support for your tarp. That's a very good custom-made tarp, so it should shed water and snow pretty well. Some storage.
Can you travel with it on, or should you take it off?
It's a pretty strong tarp, but I personally like to travel without a tarp on because, you know, the wind can buffet it. It kind of takes the life out of the tarp. So you'd want to put these in your truck, and I'd probably recommend towing without it in place. It just saves the tarp for the life.
Is that a live well or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like a ice chest.
Okay.
I don't know if there's water entry into this. No, it's just for ice probably. Let's look over here. Yep, it's just water, ice storage. So live well would be here. There's probably a bait well or something. Yep.
Oh, sweet.
So you're gonna have water into that. Here's your nozzle. And it's got an on-off port. So probably the one, if there's one pump, it probably runs this one and the rear live well. You just turn this one off. You don't want to use it.
Okay.
There's bait. And then live well up here. Yep, then live well up here with another port. And a recirc, and it's lighted. Wow. That thing is ginormous. Yeah, so this one goes over here also.
Okay, sweet.
And it's got 2 fill ports, a recirc, looks like, and a light. So that's good.
Sweet deal, sweet deal.
A lot of good stuff. Fuse panel right here. Another courtesy light there for night. So here's your main power switch, master switch.
Okay.
It's got a well on. Why the bilge is running now. Yeah, so you got 2 drains here, and this is your garber plug or drain for the boat, and then live well entry here. So, and make sure you always plug this one.
Yes, sir.
And don't plug those. Some people, on some boats, these are the same size, and they plug this one by mistake, and then the water starts going right.
Yeah, that's cause for a bad day.
Real fast. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Well, it is official. We have a new boat for the channel. New boat for fishing. What'd you think?
Rich folk.
All right, guys, we'll get into it a little bit more later on. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering what is going on. Why do you have 2 boats now? Well, long story short, I planned on putting a Minn Kota Terova on here, 80-pound thrust trolling motor, but it doesn't fit on the bow of the boat. And it's a little bit too long anyway, so it probably would have hit the windshield. So really had one option, or I guess two options. Either return the trolling motor and just continue to fish how I am from this boat, or get rid of this boat and buy something that is more fishing oriented. Oriented? I think it's oriented. Anyway, so we ended up deciding, we as in like my dad and I, but mainly me because it's kind of my choice, but I ended up deciding on getting a boat, and I wanted something that was obviously fishing dedicated. I guess we could pull tubes on it anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of what happened today, and ended up going down to Nebraska. I guess I'm going up to Nebraska and getting a 1999 Alumacraft Tournament Pro 175 CS. It's a lovely looking boat. I'm excited for it. I'm ready to get on the water. Some things I want to do to it first before I get it on the water. Obviously I need to register it and get in my name and all that fun stuff, so more money, right? But yeah, guys, so this boat here, it is for sale. If you guys are interested in it, the two people probably still watching this video. If you guys are interested in it, it's only about $3,000 all I'm asking for. Only issue is I believe there is a short in the power cable, power line, whatever, that goes to the pump. So I think, depending on if I sell it in time or whatever, I'll probably end up fixing that myself, just running a new wire and try to make sure that's all good and ready to go. But other than that, guys, there's really no issues with it. It runs, it floats, as you guys obviously have seen before, and that's really it. But let's go check out the boat one more time and we'll end this video. Yeah, this was one of the very first boats that I've had that actually ran and floated and did all what it's supposed to do, so, which is nice. But now we're kind of upgrading, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, so I'm excited for it, guys. But again, here we are. We have the new boat. It comes with a Minn-Kota power drive, but obviously we'll be getting rid of that. And it's not too bad. Have a nice little pedestal seat up here. Really need to get this carpet cleaned up and freshened up a little bit. Got 4 seats back here. Probably won't use these 4 too much. Probably put one up there, obviously, for trolling and whatever. But now, it's not too bad. You guys have obviously seen it. Kind of showed it earlier in the video. The nice 140 on it. The nice little Garmin Striker 7 SV. So that's gonna be very, very nice and very useful. Sorry for any wind noise. But yeah, I took the fish finder off, put it in the Jeep. So probably in the future, I'll probably end up having either a Humminbird on here. Humminbird Helix. Yeah, Humminbird Helix 7 or so, something up here. That will connect with the Terrova. Because I do have the one that has the transducer in it. Although this one does too, obviously. So yeah. This was not the big plan that I had in store. The big plan was putting the trolling motor on the old boat, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I don't know. I'm kind of sad about it, but kind of happy at the same time because I get to upgrade, get a nicer, newer boat, and I'm excited for it. So I hope you guys are excited as well. And if you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe for me. If you guys like this video, drop me a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. Until next time, guys. See you later.